Go. Okay. Hello. Can everybody hear me now? All right.
Yep.
Oh man, a little hiccup. Now I'm just waiting for our guest, and I don't know if he's here yet. Is our guest here? Terry, are you here yet? Oh man, I'm not having any luck so far with this webinar series. You know that, eh? Let me try by phone again and see if we can come back. Hang on a sec, and I don't want to take up everybody's time, so I'm going to I'll be right back. This is the joy of these things. Recording now, and my screen. And can everybody see the screen? Let's get going. So, Terry, welcome, first of all.
Thank you.
We were just talking, I shared your bio about your career and then the car accident. And you know, as you look back to that, 1988 when the car accident happened, do you have any memory of your life now before the car accident? Has your memory come back? Did that memory loss ever come back?
No, it has not returned it whatsoever.
So then in that time after, like, what emotions came up for you as you realized that, that the memory of your past never came back? Like, how did you, I'm just trying to, like, get a sense of how you felt when, afterwards, after the car accident. Well, hello? Ah, boy. We're having serious troubles here. Hello?
Nobody but her, so she was able to place thoughts of people in my vocabulary when I was afraid even to talk to people because I had no knowledge of who you are, what you did, and also the same thing about myself. So there's no way I can confuse you because I'm totally confused as it is. So therefore, what was I trying to do? I was just trying to make a connection, but I was never making the connection because I didn't really know what was going on.
That's did that feeling scare you at the time, or were you just, like, you had no fear because it was like it was starting over? Did you have fear, or were you frightened by that?
Of course, I was afraid to talk because I had a lot of mix-up language. My words, I didn't understand the words. I didn't have any education, so I had to learn to speak again, write again, and try to understand what you were talking about because I really didn't know what you were talking about. So I'd always have my wife as my backup, always beside me. And that went on for a good 7-8 years. So it was learning a whole new way of life. And the fact that I knew that I had people who loved me, the fear was when I went outside. And I didn't talk on the phone. I was afraid of the phone. And so I became a hermit.
Wow. What about medically? Like, how do they treat that? Like, what did the doctors, tell you to do, and how did you sort of, piece your life back to where you are now?
Well, because of my short-term memory too, they said mark down everything that you're doing. So I tried that for a while. I got so frustrated that I was writing things down every minute that I was at any free time. So I threw it away, and I said, if I can't deal with my family, I'm in really serious trouble. So I would tell them to repeat them again because I would forget. And then, of course, they would get angry at me, not really understanding that I wasn't fooling around. I was serious, that I didn't understand what they were saying to me. Please tell me again, and why, now. And so that went on for a long, long time. And so most people don't understand that, so I don't even try to explain them.
Yeah. Wow. How did your family manage during that journey? I mean, I spoke to your wife today, and boy, she's a saint. How did your family manage, their relationship with you and also manage their own lives during that time?
Well, my daughters went through a very difficult time because didn't have a father, and they were teenagers, and all of a sudden they're going into a whole new life. So my wife had to be husband, wife, caregiver, and I didn't care about anything. I just would walk and I'd go out in the fields in my farm and yell at the wind and the clouds going in the wrong direction. And I was not a very nice person because I didn't know what I was doing.
And when did
no understanding.
So when did you start to get some understanding back? And when did your personality and behavior start to maybe return to a little bit of, a little bit more normal? How long after?
That's a good one. A little bit more normal. Ronnie Perone, who played with me in Montreal, is a wonderful person, and he thought that telling my story to high school students would encourage them to focus on their duties, and so I would write things down. We read them together. So I wrote a script of who I was, what I went through, and I spoke to them. And lo and behold, when I got in front of them, I wasn't nervous. I felt like I was on the 10-yard line again, going in to score a touchdown.
Wow!
And so it's very, very funny. It just happened. And then, of course, when I'm at the Good Samaritan Hospital in Puyallup, Washington, I was there for 6 months. I had a different teacher every hour, 10 hours a day, for 6 straight months. But after 5 months, in my confused mind, I thought I was going nowhere fast. So I said to I'm going home. And my head therapist, Carol Alina, said, no, wait until Monday so you can talk to the head of the clinic and co-founder, Dr. Petir. And I said, okay. Now, we used to have the weekends off. And we used to go on short visits to the town, always in the group of 6 or 8 with a guide, and learning how to walk again, learning how to cross the street, while we're going to go see a movie, go to a local event, because they never know what we're going to say or do. And so I said, I'm not going for the first time in the history of the school, of the hospital. And Nolan Ryan was being interviewed on television. I was a great fan of his, and probably the greatest power pitcher in the history of baseball.
Sure.
And the announcer asked him a very simple but complex question. He says, Nolan, how do you approach baseball? That's very simple. Well, his answer was, stay with me the rest of my life. He reaches over, he takes a baseball. He gets in the pitcher's stance, and he starts to wind. And then he says, this pitch, this moment, it is a total commitment to every single wind-up. I try to put everything that I have into each and every pitch that I throw. I've got only one deal. Now, you and I both know the tremendous pressures. Never mind the millions at home watching television, the thousands in the stands, his own families, teammates, coaches, owners, managers, the media. Then he says, if I have control of my wind-up, I do not fear the opposition. Suddenly I said to myself, Harry, that's how you played. You were focused and you didn't fear anyone. That was my first and only time that I've been able to touch the Terry from the past.
Hmm. And have you ever been in touch with that Terry from the past since?
It's never come back but that one time.
Wow.
And that told me to, okay, you better start listening to what they're trying to teach you and build a new Terry one day and one moment at a time. That was my first emotional turnover.
You had to put your trust in the people around you, in your family, and who else did you have to put your trust into in order to sort of...
No one. I trusted no one. Maybe that was my confused mind, that I didn't believe anyone and I didn't trust anyone because I was so confused that I had to have my wife next to me all the time. So she was getting fed up with being my right-hand man 24/7. And so slowly but surely, she would say, Terry, try again, do it again, it's okay, do it again. You don't have to convince anybody, just be yourself. Let's try to find that person that's deep inside you. I said, okay, let's work at it. And sure enough, day
Wow.
after day, week after week, year after year, slowly but surely, a new Terry started to emerge. And
So-
the character, I never lost the character.
Okay.
I knew I was. And that was what kept me going all the time, because I said, no matter what you tell me, I don't believe it. Geez, I think I got to do it. So there was always this thing that kept creeping up in my head that you can do it. I think so. You can do it. Try it again. Try it again. So when I played, of course, I was notorious for long practices, doing repetitiveness all the time. And it was great for me. It made me a Hall of Famer. But at the same time, now I had trouble telling you what my kids' names were and where exactly where I lived. And all very simple things that I found very complex. So you
Wow.
see, it gets very complicated, and it's very hard to explain, but it was really crazy for at least the first 10 years. Listen, that's a long time. That's a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And without my family, I'd been in the psych hospital today.
Oh yeah. No. Yeah. It was almost like you were in this like sort of like a black hole, and you can't get out, and you don't know when it's gonna sort of like one day change. You know?
Every single day. And don't forget, David, I never slept more than an hour for the first 4 years.
Wow.
I was awake 24/7, waking everybody up. What are you sleeping for? I don't sleep. Get up. So, of course, my wife would say, Terry, no, let the girls go to sleep. I'll walk with you.
That's
So,
incredible.
of course, she's the one that came out and walked with me. So finally she says, no, I had enough of this. We got a dog, and then the dog died.
Well, that's a good investment. A dog is probably a good investment.
Well, you know, my farm, to walk around the block, it was 5 kilometers. So, believe me, it took me from the time that I got home, it took me 9 months, so I could walk just up the street.
Yeah.
It was 2 kilometers. But I made it. Once I made it, I said, yes, let's keep going. And so I'd go another 200 feet, 200 yards, and add that up. And keep adding up, and 9 months later, and I got the 2 kilometers.
Yeah. Well, you know, and you come from a, you know, pretty storied football career, and, you know, you're running up and down fields and into the end zone a lot. So, you know, they say out of bad comes some good. What good do you think came from all of this, Terry, as you kind of reflect? What good came from this?
In reflection, I know now I'm a good person. I know I'm a caring person. I love people. Be straight with me. If you cross me, I walk away. I won't try to explain to you why you're bad, because I don't have the intelligence to do that. I just, my heart says, not a good person, I walk away. And I forget you. You're not part of my life now.
Right.
So I make sure that my family is close to me, and then they have a choice when I meet people. Was the person trying to take advantage of you? Or is it a good person or a bad person? So I always use them as a sounding board all the time, even today. 'Cause during my first 10 years, without them, like I said, I'd be in a psych hospital, so I trusted them with my life.
Yeah. You speak to
Why
a
should I
lot.
change now?
You speak to a lot of groups now. What's your message when you're out speaking and doing speaking engagements? What's your message for people?
Well, I just tell them what my life story is, how it happened, what I'm doing to get better, and you can be the best person you can be the moment you wake up in the morning by just simply saying, I will be a better person today than yesterday. And it makes you focus on today and simple little things of kissing your children goodbye in the morning.
Yeah. Walking with your wife at 3 in the morning.
Yes, it's tiny little things that everybody takes for granted, but a lot of people don't do it. And then worry about little things. They build them into mountains, so they say, oh my God, I got to climb that mountain again. So they create pressures on themselves that don't even exist. And if they do something, they got to make it to be a big deal. So it's not a big deal. Just do the simple little things, and you'll be surprised on the great journey you can have.
Was that your mantra as you were healing from the accident and the brain injury and the physical injuries?
Yes.
Was that your mantra? Like, do every day, do the simple little things?
Exactly.
Wow.
Because if I don't do them, if I don't do that, then how can I do bigger things? If I can do a simple little thing across the street. You know, it's as simple as that. One foot in front of the other, and lo and behold, you cross the street.
Did you have any spiritual beliefs that maybe played any part in your recovery? Like, was religion?
I'm a good Catholic.
Sure.
No, I'm a good Catholic.
Okay.
And I'm a good family person. And listen, I speak to the Lord every day. I say thank you very much for today. And when I wake up in the morning, I say, good morning, God. Let's have a great day today. And away I go.
Huh.
So I don't let any negativity set into my head, because lo and behold, there's this little devil inside of my brain that wants to grab onto him and create all kinds of sidetracks for me to make me into a bad person. I won't let that happen.
All right.
So the devil is really a lot stronger in my head than most people.
Well, I don't know. I think it plays pretty loudly in my head too. So we're good company for each other. You mentioned that your family. My gosh, they stood by you throughout. I got two things that I want to ask, and I'm not sure that you'd see that happen in this day and age. I don't know if families would stay with, like a wife would stay with her husband. In this day and age, you don't see that kind of
Well, Dave, let me say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me say this to you, Dave, that in North America, every year there are hundreds of thousands of head injuries, either by accident, heart attacks, you name it.
Sure.
And lo and behold, within a 2-year period, you can check the statistics through there for everybody to know, within a 2-year period, they end up in divorce. Because you know what strange thing happens? You know what? Lorraine, I don't even like you now. Am I going to live with you anymore? I don't think so. And so the same thing happens. Billy, I don't like you now. I mean, you're not really a nice person. I'm not in here. Within 2 years, they end up in divorce. Here I'm married 47 years, and I'm the happiest person that we can be.
Oh, beautiful. So your wife played a huge role in your healing. I mean, she walked with you. She taught you. She's been your sounding board. Any other what else did she do during that time and throughout these 47 years?
Well, no matter what happens during the day, the man has to take the responsibility to do certain duties. Well, most of the time, I didn't understand that. So she would walk me through the things, and I would do simple little things, going out and mucking the stalls, and walking the horses, and go to the store. And if you go to the store, I got to mark it down. Whatever, as long as it's more than 2 items, I have to mark it down, because I'll miss the third or fourth piece. So I had to do it. So she taught me how to go out and shop for little things, getting milk and bread and butter. Now, the people, they find that humorous, but it wasn't really, because I would get in the car, and all of a sudden halfway there, I'd stop, say, where am I going? And then I'd have to go back to the house. My wife would say, you back off real quick. And I said, I just walked, and I drove, and I didn't know where I was going. Write it down. You have to go to the store. Mark the store name down. So I marked this, and it's in the same goal. And so I would do that and over and over and over again. So you see, the tiny little things, my wife would put up with it instead of saying, Terry, you're driving me crazy. And I probably was. And she just said, look, all right, let's do it again. Let's do it again, and let's do it again. So the fact that I allowed myself to be moved along by hand was a big deal because I could always do a lot of things by myself. Now I could hardly do anything. So it's that basic of believing on every minute of the day perspective.
Wow. Amazing. Now, are you driving now? Like you said,
I am driving. I never lost the um, the ability to go from point A to point B. As long as you told me, I had to mark down. Turn at the right corner, 2 lights, turn left, 1 more light, go right. The store is right there, and I would turn right, turn left, and so I would follow it that way in my brain while I was driving, because I would hold on to the wheel, and I'd always go 15 kilometers lower than the speed limit. And of course, everybody would be honking their horns at me, and I would be mad at them, and I'd be giving them the finger, and I'd say, and I really didn't care. So I finally got to the front. It was a big deal for me to do that little thing. But all of the people in between allowed me to do it, and I never lost the feeling to drive in a straight line.
wow. Okay. And now we have GPS, so things have changed, right?
No, I tried the GPS. I got totally confused, so I canceled. I thought that would be better for me, and you talking to me and at the same time I couldn't do it.
We're going to take questions from our participants in a moment, but you and I, Terry, we've spoken a couple times offline, and you shared your frustration with how you've had to adapt to your new life. How do you manage that frustration? Because, how do you manage that?
Well, by saying to myself every time I get up in the morning, I'm going to be a good person today, and I'll do whatever duties I have to do and get them done, so I don't have to put the pressure on my family, whether it's my wife, my girls, my grandchildren. I make sure that I do what I'm supposed to do.
Okay.
Don't get sidetracked.
Now, in your height of your football career, and you were, in super shape. Do you still remain physically active?
Yes, very much so.
And what do you do? Does that help? Do you find that daily practice of being physical, walking, and that kind of thing? Does that help you?
It helps me concentrate. It helps me concentrate on what I'm doing, so that I close off everything that's around me, and I get into my own little world, and I do whatever. If I have to lift weights for my shoulders or my legs, or when I'm walking, I just know that I have to go from point A to point B, and I do it without getting distracted by anything or anybody.
Mm.
So I become single-minded.
Oh, that's not a bad thing. Focus, right?
David, it makes me feel good, though, you see? It
Yeah.
makes me feel good at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And that's what my doctor told me. Don't be afraid to tap yourself on the shoulder. My wife said, Harry, that was a good job. Tap yourself on the shoulder. It's okay. What do you feel?
Good. That's good advice for all of us, right? Have that focus. When we've done that thing that we've had to do, pat yourself on the shoulder. That's great advice for everybody. I want to just talk a little bit, Terry, if you're okay to. If not, then just let me know. After that accident, did the CFL Players Association help you, or did your former teammates come and visit you and stay in touch with you?
I tell you what, I was very fortunate that some of the superstars of yesterday were there for me. The late Bernie Filoni, the late Herman Harrison, Angelo Mosca, Ronnie Perone. They would tell me stories about myself, who I was, what I did, and they do it over and over again. So eventually I became an actor in my first life, where I can retell the story, but I can't have my part because I really wasn't there with somebody else. But they gave me an identity, and the rest of the people, nothing.
Huh.
When you're not performing and you're not playing now, the people in our league, whether they could have changed today, I don't know what it's like today, but I know back then it wasn't. They're busy doing their own lives trying to survive, and
Yeah.
you're just someone who had a bad accident but I had great years with those nice people I've been talking about, and they helped me form a new life.
No, that's good then. You know, that's kind of heartening to hear. Let's take some questions from our participants. Who'd like to chime in? Lisa, Penny, Remy, Steve?
I'll try to answer it.
All right. Thanks, Terry. Anybody? I've unmuted you all, I think. Yeah. Can you guys, you can raise your hand, you can ask a question. There's actually a little place where you can ask.
Is everybody shy?
Yeah, I think everybody's shy. Yeah, anybody? No? Okay, well, let's forge ahead. Oh, there's one question I did want to ask you about the CFL. You know, it's changed, and we've got some challenges here in the Toronto market. What does Toronto need to do to attract a better following? Terry?
How about playing some solid football? And I believe, and it starts from the very top, this is my own personal belief now. And I'm not taking a run at the league. I'm not taking that I'm 7 years old and it was done my way. It was done this, my time it was done this way. It's that people catch a ball and they do a dance. And it's a big deal. Just do your job, catch the ball, and if you're still around 5, 6 years from now doing the same thing over and over again, we'll say that you're a pretty good player. Don't tell me that you're a superstar by catching the football or running a touchdown. That's what you're supposed to do. That's why you got the job. So they make a big deal out of nothing, and that really disturbs me.
Yeah.
So I don't watch it. I just turn it off. When I see some people lollygagging, like I call it lollygagging, I turn it off because I know they don't show any respect for the people who buy the tickets to come and see them play.
Yeah.
All right. They put them down to their level of intelligence, and I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. That's my feeling.
So just you know, play hard nosed and just do your job and yeah.
Exactly. Yes, and be thankful that you got the job.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like I know when I'm at work and, you know, doing my teaching a workshop, you know, I don't do a dance after. Maybe I should, but it depends on the workshop. Any questions now? Anybody unshy?
You can ask me any question. Any question. Don't be shy.
All right. Well, all right. So, you know, you've been through this journey. You know, like what's next for you, Terry? You said you're 70 years old, which I can't believe.
Oh my God, I can't believe.
I know. You see, that's two of us. What's next for you? What are you working on most in your life or career now?
Two very simple things, David. I try to be a good person every single day to my wife, my children, my grandchildren. And second, I'd like to be in front of people and telling them my story of survival. And I know that if I reach one person, I've had a great day. Well, over the years, I've reached many, many people, and it makes me feel good inside that I can make them think about themselves. Just stop and listen to yourself. Are you being a good person? Did you really do a good job? If you didn't, well, you better do something about it. And don't blame somebody else, but blame yourself. Because you're really not doing the right thing, being the right person. And people can put it in other languages, use different analogies. I'm just trying to tell you, I know if you're true or not. If you come to do a good job, I congratulate you because thank you very much for giving me an honest day. That's all I ask. You ask me, I'm going to give you an honest day. So I ask that of you. That's not asking too much, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah. If you had one hope,
David, very simple, David. My life is very simple now. It was very complex in the past, and I'm very proud of the fact that I played 14 seasons. I'm an Hall of Famer. I only fumbled the ball 3 times.
yeah.
Some guys do it in one day. I did it over a 14-year period.
That's amazing.
So I'm proud of that fact.
Yeah. And you were great. I mean, like I grew up in Ottawa, and you played with Montreal when I was there, and you know we feared you. You know,
We
as
had a lot of battles. We had a lot of good battles.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
there were some good times. You know, and I still remember the you know the late '60s and the you know I guess you played with Moses Denson and Sonny Wade
Absolutely.
and
Yes.
Peter Dallariva. Those were some really, you know, those were some really good teams and really good talent. Like at that time, the CFL was at its you know at its height. I mean, it was better than the NFL.
I'm glad you said that. It was at its height because I'll tell you there were superstars on each team throughout the whole league. You could name specific players who came to play every single day, and they entertained you. And so I took that as total respect. I was going to entertain you every single day, whether it's practice or game time or playoff times or Grey Cups. I came to play, and my record speaks for itself. I had a lot of fun, and I entertained a lot of people. And you know, people talk about great games. Well, listen, I scored over 90 touchdowns, almost 11,000 yards, and I wasn't even supposed to play the game.
Yeah, you were too small, right?
Yeah, of course. You see, so those little things, people should look at them and have some proper respect level to what all the lollygagging that goes along today. So you can't say that I hold a grudge against it, or I should be thankful to promote the league. No, everything is terrific, but all the lollygagging, I'm sorry, if that's what people want to see today, I'm sorry. I'm glad I couldn't play today. I could not play under those conditions. I couldn't. I'd be hammering some of my own teammates who acted silly. We never did that. Never did that. Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah, and I know like you were deemed to be, you know, too small in stature, I guess, to you know, in the CFL at that time. You know, go figure. I gotta, you know, if you had one hope, Terry, you know, for all you've gone through, what would you want to see come out of all this? What do you want people or your audiences that you speak to? What do you want them to remember you and know you by?
Who I am, what I am today, and I allowed myself to be diverted to no fault of mine, diverted for a good almost 15 years of being in a no man's land, always trying to reach out to you and say, can I help you? Instead of saying, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? And so that helped me develop to a warmer person than I was in the past. And I'm really thankful for that. And so, I mean, my grandchildren love me, and I give them the same love in return. And it's not anything special. I mean, most grandfathers out there are hopefully have grandchildren who love me. But I got to be careful because my wife said to me, Terry, they're your grandchildren. They're not your children. So I have to be reminded that I give them the same love as I did my own children.
Right. Plus,
Makes me feel very good.
yeah. Plus, you can give them back to their rightful owners after, right? You know.
No. I want them to stay longer.
All right. So they did a movie about your life. Did you watch it, or did it make you uncomfortable, or did you choose not to watch it? What did you think of it?
I think they did a terrific job. Wendy Crusoe, both my wife, David James Elliott, you know his character, and so he did a good job too. I was on set a lot of times, and I was watching what they were doing, and they performed to the best of their ability. They wanted to make it a true story for themselves. They wanted to be looking in within themselves. We're going to do the best that we can do in our as talented actors. And lo and behold, I get emails from around the world because the movie is The Man Who Lost Himself, like that's in my book. But in the United States, it's The Stranger I Married. The same. It just changed the title, same story, and that story goes around the world. And lo and behold, here we are. I just got an email a couple of weeks ago, and people from Hong Kong. And, you know, it's not a football story; it's a story of love. And how did you survive? And it's the love of my wife and my children that kept the whole family together.
That's amazing. You know, boy, you know, like you look at your life and you think like, oh, you know, like God chose you, you know, like to do all this, and look at the lives you've touched and the journey you've been on. It's like you ever stop and think like, man, you know, like I can't believe I signed up for this, but I think you passed with flying colors, you know.
Let me say this, David, in true honesty, and I hope a lot of people hear what I have to say. Every single day, I attempt to be the best person I can be, because with my short-term memory, I don't remember a couple of days ago. So my wife will always say, "Terry, we had a great day. Everybody have a good day today." And I want to hear if they didn't, talk about it. And so it is the simple things in life that mean the most.
Yeah, yeah, that's beautiful. I know you're still speaking, so you're still open for speaking gigs if anybody has any contacts, right? Like we could still bring you in for a speaking opportunity, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And you'll be very pleased, but the audience will be very, very happy that I was there.
All right.
They won't expect to hear what they're going to hear, but I promise you they're going to be happy.
All right. I've got a couple of people on this call tonight that might want to connect with you after. My last question is for our call tonight, because we're a little bit over. Pro sports, as you know, has changed dramatically since you played. What are the differences in today's athletes in terms of their personality, their attitude, their character between those that play now and those that you played with? Guys like Bernie Filoni, Joe Zuger, Angela Mosca, Sonny Wade. What are the differences in personality and attitude between the players now and the players from your day?
Well, I tell you what. I think it's very simple. We played the game that we loved to play, and we tried to play together so that we could form proper working relationships on the field and off. And the attitudes of players today of I people, I am the greatest, I will make it all happen. Yeah, but if you run, who's going to block for you? Who's the quarterback? How's the quarterback going to get the ball? So everything is brought down to a single I. There's so many I people today in professional sports. It really disturbs me. And now you find all of these things about violence coming out with, I don't know how to say it, but I don't want to say names either. When you have violence at home, and whether it's with children, with your children or grandchildren, or your wife, those things did not happen in our day that I'm aware of in any way, shape, or form. Now it's everywhere. And it's a matter of the character of the athlete who says, I am the best there is, so you're going to pay me whether you like it or not, and I'm going to walk around like a king, and I'm king of the roost. And that is not the way you play. That's not what people want to see and hear. And lo and behold, the media love to report on those things, and that's the way it is today.
Yeah.
And I really am disturbed at what the things that a lot of professional athletes who think they can get away with things that normal people can't.
Yeah.
So it's very disturbing to me.
Right. I agree. I mean, you look at what's happened in the NFL in the past couple of weeks. It's like
Oh no! I mean,
it saddens me.
That's what they're reporting. Never mind what happened in the past.
Yeah. True. Steve, one of our participants on the call tonight, asked Terry, what team did you win the Grey Cup with, and do you still live in Durham region?
I live in Durham region. I moved to 407, took my farm, and I live in Salina now.
Okay.
We have a beautiful place here in Salina. Lorraine and I are very happy here.
Beautiful. And who?
The other question?
Who did you? Who did you win the Grey Cup with? Was it? I think.
Uh, no, we played Montreal.
Okay.
I was like, in 1970.
Oh, I remember
When
that.
the October crisis was happening, and we settled everybody down, and we won the Grey Cup. So we weren't even supposed to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's right. That was the FLQ crisis then too, right?
Exactly right, yeah.
Yeah.
And there was at least 10 stars that came out of that 1970 team in Montreal.
Well, I think I can name a few. Larry Fairholm, you, Sonny Wade, Moses Denson, Peter Dallariva, the guy Tony Proudfoot,
Oh, he was later.
Mark Widger,
Yes, he was there, yes.
Mark Cosmos.
Yes.
Not bad, eh?
Not bad, not bad at all.
Oh, and Pierre Desjardins.
There's the Jardin, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's all memory people who are on the call tonight. And I could name you most of the Ottawa Rough Riders at that time too. So we had just lost Russ Jackson, and we had Gary Wood as our quarterback in 1970, and we went from first, like 2 Grey Cups in a row, to bottoming out. That's why we had to let Montreal win.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? Anybody else have any other questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
It's Lisa. Hi there, Terry. You had mentioned that you really felt that, to be being a better person every single day that you can. And I just wondered, how do you measure that for yourself? How do you measure that you're a better person every day?
Well, at the end of the day, if I can pat myself on the shoulder and say, "Terry, it was a good day today," and I turn to my wife, "Honey, did we have a good day today?" Of course. And so that's it. Thank you very much.
All right. Awesome.
I don't have to broadcast to anybody. I don't have to go in the papers. I don't have to make everybody know that I'm a good person. I had a great day. That's my life, and that's how I approach it. That's what those simple things make me feel good.
Right.
That's very, very important, that you feel good about yourself.
I like that. Yeah. To feel good about yourself. Thank you.
Well, that's about being in a state of joy, Lisa. It's like we, when we're in that vibe, when we're in that zone, like that's what we try to get to. When we're down and out and depressed or mad or angry with somebody, how are we going to be successful in our own lives in that kind of mental state? So I like what Terry, I like what you're saying, because it's about just doing those little things every day and trying to feel good about yourself in some way or another and being a good person. It kind of contributes to all that, right?
And as you do those things every single day, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, oh, this has been a pretty good week this week. You're able to tell yourself that you had a good job, you did a good job, and at the end of the week, I put all these 7 days together. I had a really good week. And then you start it all over again.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
know what? In 1 second, you're here and you're gone the next.
Yeah.
No one should ever forget that. Very
Yeah.
fortunate to live on this earth and to be able to get up in the morning, oh, I'm awake. And then start your day off.
So you have you practice a lot of gratitude as well.
There's no question. There's absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Take nothing for granted. Zero.
yeah. I guess that's a big gift as well from all the bad that happened. Any last questions for Terry? Anybody?
Yes, I have a question for Terry. David, it's Penny.
Hey, Penny.
So Terry, how do you deal with worry? Because that's one of my main themes. Or do you not worry in life? How do you deal with things that you worry about?
Okay, I'll put it to you this way.
Uh-huh.
What are you worried about, and why are you worrying about it?
Yeah, well, I'm worried. I'm presently in a career change. I'm worried about David knows I'm just starting my own business, and in the meantime, I need to find work, and I don't know what I want to do. So I'm worried how I'm going to pay the bills. I'm using some of my savings, so that's the big worry.
Of course it is. I think personally, you have to start off, what do I want to do? Otherwise, you're going to be running in circles, and people will make you run in circles to keep you confused most of the time.
Yeah.
What do I want to do? And you say, okay, who do I have to see that can help me do that? And then you go and ask. Don't be afraid to ask. All they're going to say is no.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't say to yourself, well, I don't think they're going to think very much of me, and their attitude's going to be wrong, and listen, this is what I want to do.
Ask for help.
Yes, don't be afraid.
Right.
And ask right up front. Listen, I don't know exactly what I got to do. Could you help me, please?
Yeah.
Could you help me, please?
Mm-hmm.
You ask me. I said, well, whatever I can do.
Yeah, sounds good.
Don't be afraid to ask, please. Can you help me, please? Very simple. It's a very simple sentence.
Yeah, you're right.
With sincerity, and you'll be surprised the kind of response you get.
Uh-huh.
It's very
Okay.
simple, you know. It's very simple. When people would say, Terry, don't you remember me? I said, no. What do you mean? We played 30 years together. You don't remember? I said, I want to tell you one more time. No, I don't. And if you ask me another time, I'm walking out of here. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
And you have to believe that within yourself. You believe, because that's what I believed in. I believe I can be a good person. I can be a better person if I could do this. Could you help me do it? You will be surprised if people respond.
Yeah, people
If
generally.
they don't, tell them to call me.
Yeah. People generally want to help too, which is amazing, you know? Yeah, people want to help.
Right.
Wow. Well, we're thanks. Anybody else have any last questions as we wrap up? I just want to share, that's Terry's website. Can you see the screen, everyone? Yeah? So I'll just go into Terry's website there. Hopefully that works. There it is. Can you see that screen? That's his website. There he is with his awards. And Terry, I just want to thank you so much for doing this with us tonight. Honestly, like you're a gem.
It was very difficult to get us all pieced together, but you know what? I think we've had some fun.
I think we did.
Therefore, hey, listen, if we have fun, well, what a great day, what a great time.
It's been a great
And we can
time.
talk about that.
Yeah.
Instead of all the bad things that are happening in the world, let's find these little things that make us feel good.
You
We
got
have
it.
to do that.
I know we have to do that. I think
Yeah, we do. Of course we do.
yeah.
Of course we do.
Exactly. Well, and I just again want to thank you so much, and I really hope we can stay in touch. And I'd love to meet you one day. I think you're just a true class act and a real true gentleman. You called me right away to say yes when I asked you about being on this call tonight, and you've just been a real true class act. So thank you so much for everything, and thanks
Thank
to
you.
your son-in-law and wife.
So, you know where I live, so you can drop by and have a coffee.
You got it, and we'll go do some farming, or we'll go to the store together or something. Okay.
All right, we'll do something. We'll do something.
All right, you got it. Thank you so much, Terry, and thank you everybody. Thank you everybody on the call. I'm sorry for the delay, but I think we got it. And have a beautiful evening. We're back next week with our Monday 6-week seminar series with Money Coach Karen Collicott. And that wraps it up, I guess, for tonight. So thanks a lot, everybody, for being on the call tonight.
Thanks, David.
Okay. You're welcome. Have a great week. Steve, are you okay?
Yep. Thanks, David.
All
Very
right,
nice.
Steve. Did you have good cake last night, dude?
Oh yeah, nice birthday for the wife. Yes.
All right, good one.
Okay.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Take care.
Bye. Bye.
Ciao,
Bye.
ciao.
Everybody. Bye.
Bye.